What we're gonna do about weed for our wines?
I know.
Sip as if this is a 20-minute wine. 20-minute wine.
20 minutes.
Because every clip is 20 minutes.
20 minutes is already up for me.
Is it? I know.
Daphine is definitely not gonna make it for 20 minutes.
Daphine's done.
Oh, what? Did you see the evil eye that Daphine's giving you?
Daphine is more hair than we planned at the beginning.
Yes, it's not my fault that I'm Diana wrong. Natasha's narrative. I am here with my cousins, my beautiful Ugandan cousins. So if everyone can introduce themselves, please.
I'll start. I'm Daphine.
I'm Docus.
Natasha, as you know.
I'm Aidah.
Sarafina.
I'm Dana.
I'm Anne.
Okay. Well, today we're going to be discussing workplace discrimination. So first of all, I thought I would just start with talking about what workplace discrimination is, according to the definition. So workplace discrimination is employment discrimination which happens when an employee or job applicant is treated unfavorably because of his or her race, skin color, national origin, gender, disability, religion, sexual orientation or age. So apparently the employment gap between black people and the British average is approximately 10%. And the number of those who are unemployed within the black female population is 31%.
England or London?
Within the UK.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's actually nuts. That's
Some of
really
it
nuts.
is due to like them having kids as well. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
okay, so they're not employed currently, it might be.
Okay.
It's because we've got a double-edged sword for females and for ethnic. That is, you can't go
The
worse.
struggle doesn't.
You can't get worse. Yeah,
No, you can't.
statistically you're likely to have kids, so you're going to take time.
Yeah, there's that already,
And
and
then getting a job to begin with is going to
that's
be hard
gonna be
enough.
mad with your
But that
surname.
number is quite high because us as black people, we're already like tiny, very
Yes.
tiny portion.
Yeah.
In the UK. And
Yeah, 31%.
Yeah.
There's something going wrong
Isn't it
there.
like 2 to 4% of
This
ethnics?
is yeah.
So
Male
for
and
the,
female in England.
I wonder if that's like in any of the like have they acknowledged that in terms of I don't even know why I'm thinking about politics right now, but when you get figures like that you should be acknowledging it and then the legislation should go towards changing that rather than I don't understand why this has not been brought up. That,
But I think
insane.
organisations
But
are doing a
under
lot.
conservative.
Oh no, it's not.
It's not the most
I think it's one of
famous
the
statistics.
BAME and yes, black women and this, that and the other, but
what's really being
yeah,
done.
it's too little too late, and BAME is, I think, just something that people do to say we're inclusive.
Exactly.
But how much is really being
It's not
done?
top of the agenda anymore. I think now it's just
I
like
think it's just
that's been
saying that
fixed.
it's on your agenda.
That's been fixed.
Yeah.
Women are now in an okay place.
Yeah.
So let's look at Brexit.
Why it's that high? Like, are people just choosing not to go to work?
I think it's a mixture of like
people can get jobs. It's this whole unconscious bias. It's
Yeah.
this. You go to an interview. The person
Unconscious.
interviewing is
Think
going
they
to
know
go
you.
also for someone that looks like them, that acts like them, that talks like
There is
them.
that. But
So it's
even
just-
when you have black people, they're always like I find that even if you had like a black interviewer, they would think, no, we want
Yeah.
no good.
Exactly.
They want
Yeah.
to, I guess I want to do what
Fit in.
the company
Yeah.
has
Wants.
Company
you know,
ethos.
suggested
Yes.
is what they need.
So even if you do turn up, I guess you have to fit in a certain box.
Yeah.
Don't be taking your
You
break.
can't be coming in like that.
Nice week,
Honestly, for a very long
Yes,
time, I wasn't comfortable going to a job interview or going to work whilst I was wearing braids.
Same.
I couldn't do that.
That's really
Only
bad.
very recent.
bad.
Very recent, and I mean like in the last 2 years that I started wearing braids to work and feeling comfortable.
Being your
with
true
that.
within.
But even then, I feel nervous as I enter the office. I'm just like,
So,
Really?
It's just not
What's someone
right.
gonna say? What,
Yeah, it's
what
not.
comment will I have to smile about?
I agree.
Oh yeah, they love to grab the hair. It's different. Yeah.
Or touch
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I have to center
And then just-
myself so I give the right response that isn't too much and just kind of teaching them a little and being appreciating the comment they're making and almost smiling about it. So you really have to prep yourself. It's just so long.
I think it's the questions, like once you get it and they just start asking you like loads of questions. I'm like, please, I just want to do my work. Actually, I don't even want to be
like so, it's just like everyone else. You keep asking you your job.
Let's go for coffee. Keep asking.
I think we've drifted away from the question.
We have.
I think it's also to do with like a lack of like pushing education during the 1980s, because it looks at the percentages ranging of women from like the age of 16 to like 65. So I think the higher prevalence of women who are probably not working may not be that well educated because they did not have the financial means, or they weren't doing as many bursaries for people of colour during the previous decade. So I think that also probably has contributed.
But that stat, it doesn't surprise me, because us black people were more likely to be, you know, in poverty. We're more likely to have, you know, not be able to get jobs because of the way we look or what we say.
Also, we don't have the history in the country, so we don't have an inheritance. A lot of people start on that platform where they already have some backlog of money, so even if they are unemployed, it's not going to be the same.
Or they know someone that can get them.
Connections, we don't have that. We're building it.
But also,
we
like,
are immigrants.
but also, like, what you're saying is we don't have any
it's true.
sort of like heritage or anything to fall back on, but also a lot of like black people obviously have migrated and settled in the UK, so we don't have the educational background as well that someone might be looking for. So we're already sort of like doomed out.
Exactly. Yeah, like my mum, before she moved here, she already had a degree in accounting, but when she tried to get a job in accounting, she couldn't get one. So she had to go back to college, do nursing, and then
that's what happened to me.
You have to start again. The qualification is still at the same level. It's such a joke.
What's surprising is that
in Africa doesn't matter.
Yeah, the discredit. It's not a degree.
It's important.
The thing is,
and the university Dad went to, people from London could go and do
The degree and then come back. Yeah, it's a
and
joke.
come back here,
It's an
but
absolute
he
joke.
came here with his degree from that uni, and
He couldn't work with
it
it.
wasn't considered sufficient.
That's actually quite
And I
nice.
It's really wild, isn't it? People have a good time, go out there, do a bit of their course, and it counts. But it's just such a double
party
standard.
up the party.
Definitely double standard.
Oh my gosh. But can anyone describe like one of their first experiences of workplace discrimination?
Having numerous jobs allows you to kind of be able to stand back and be like, wow, that was discrimination, because when you're living it, you don't really pick up on what it definitely is.
Or do you think you don't want to admit it to yourself as well as it being discrimination? Like you want to be
No,
you're
just living it. You're like,
Because it's subtle, you're not aware, like,
Okay.
it's not the norm.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone else is going
Okay,
through
I get-
it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and
okay.
it's not like they're committing a crime, so it's obvious. It's very
Right,
subtle.
it wasn't like as you're an N, it's very really subtle undertones.
It's very subtle.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that is
yeah.
the worst thing about it. Subtle undertones, just people saying specific things just to you. Like, I think my first experience was one of my first corporate jobs after uni, where my manager was a white female, quite young, so I thought, okay, we can possibly relate. But she started kind of dealing with me differently, like setting me aside to tell me things. And I kept thinking, why haven't you done that to everyone else in the company? And I did feel like she had some sort of like issue kind of trying to manage me as if I was already a problem.
Right.
And maybe I was too direct, I don't know. I started thinking, am I too direct? When she asked me something, am I a bit too, because I am assertive. But then I realised, no, I'm the only black female, and maybe it's that. So she just set me aside and like tell me things, but in a really different way, and in a way where she kind of like had to stop me before I did something wrong.
Right.
And it was happening so regularly, and I'd just be like, I can't stand this woman, and I don't know why she can't stand me. But it's really difficult to work in this kind of environment. And the worst thing is noticing that your colleagues, your peers, aren't getting it, and they don't understand why you're complaining. Why she's just asking you into the office. She's just asking you what you did all day, and I'm like, but we're all
We're all
out here.
Yeah.
And like asking you at the end of every day what you did and trying to check that you were in line. It's just so stressful when people can't empathise because they just don't get it, and it's stressful not to know what it is at the time and just think, oh, what am I doing wrong with my personality that's provoking her to do this? So yeah, I think it's just hard in the workplace because of the subtleties and the regularity. You spend like 80% of your week.
Exactly.
So it really does have a massive effect.
I think it's just so irritating that it like ends up like propagating that whole like angry black woman narrative when you're the one that's like actually stirring it because singling that person out and making them feel like a crazy person, which then like makes them feel like anxious, paranoid, etc.
Yeah.
And it changes them. I think I started to change my tone. I say this to someone, I've changed my voice for my newer jobs because I'm assertive, but I don't say anything in too brash a way. I think about my words a lot. I actually changed my voice. Because that first job, I was just getting knocked down. And I was like, she doesn't like how I respond to her. So I just kind of had to make it lighter, more, I don't know, like more friendly. Because I got that I looked angry even though I was just responding to something that I didn't like.
I don't think
was intimidating me and was just, it felt like it was singling me out and I wanted to defend myself. But then I realised defending myself was making it worse. But yeah, I completely changed my tone. That's how bad workplace discrimination is. You've got to change your voice.
I've had a similar situation where someone felt they couldn't approach me, so they sent an email whilst I was sat right next to them. And then I was like, if I approach this situation, I'm going to come across as the aggressive. So I had to remove myself and I was like, Sarah, calm down. But I was like, why do I need to calm down? I don't need to calm down. He can approach me. So I said, you're sat right next to me. Why are you copying everyone and their mums in when you can talk to me? Oh, no, this, that, and the other. And he was just, it was very bizarre. But I was like, if I speak,
it's
I was like,
let
me, continue this thread. But it felt very bizarre and childish, and I was like, he wouldn't approach anyone else like that.
Exactly. You would go speak to them.
But it's unconscious bias, my big toe. Racism.
Oh Lord. So like, when you guys have like had these experiences, do you feel like you could be supported? I mean, your one's difficult because it was your manager.
Yeah,
but like,
she was
do you
also
feel...
emailing me.
Oh Lord.
And every day. Over the shoulder. What are we doing today, Anne? Sorry.
But like, do you feel like you could have been supported by like either other like your colleagues or like other kind of higher ups?
I don't think it matters what your colleagues think or whether they agree that you're getting discriminated against, because I've had it quite a few times. Even just little things like people assuming I like certain stuff without asking me. Like, I've just joined and you say, oh, I can tell you're sassy. No, you can't. It's true, but you can't tell. What do you mean? What do you mean? Or like, say, like I've worked in media for a while, but say there's tickets to something and it's a grime event or something, and suddenly you're asking me first, why? I mean, I want the tickets, but why are you asking me first? People assuming I don't like football. There's so many things, and I'm just like, what? None of you hang out with me outside of work. Where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this information? Or just a lot of the opinion that I'm gonna blow up when I'm actually I'm actually a very chill person. Like, I don't know where it's coming from, but it happens a lot. And I think no matter, even if you and your 10 colleagues agree that there's been some sort of racism happening towards you, that doesn't mean shit. Like, I think structurally what you need to do is bring in people, like I've had it in one of my workplaces where the moment you start the job, they teach you about unconscious bias. So everybody has this session and can say that the presumptions they have about some people, like, oh, they think that older people might be less fun. You're allowed to admit it. Everyone talks. It's one of those things that when you leave the room, you don't say what other people have said. But it just teaches people the small biases that they have, so you can acknowledge that you all have them. We have them. Really little things, and then you deal with that right at the beginning. So you're not allowed to start working until you get it. And then the more people get that, that's the only way they can understand, and that's the only way they can target, and people feel like they can complain about it. But otherwise, in an age like in a business that doesn't know anything about that, 10 people saying that one time someone made a comment, they're like, is it in an email? Like, is it official? It's very structural. It doesn't matter who's on your side. Like, it doesn't matter.
That idea is so progressive, and I probably need it in some of the situations where I've worked. Because I
know the company, we can link it. Because if you want to suggest
it's so important.
It's an important thing.
I mean, when you can get away with saying things like asking me to come over, show me photos of your black friends and your neighbours.
Why do people do it?
Showing me their baby and saying to me, I'm showing you this because you're black. And I can't do anything about it. It's kind of difficult.
No.
What do you say?
It's not a crime. It's not in an email. But I have to go away thinking, what just happened there? Should I have been angry?
Is it offensive? Like,
am I offended? Why did you say that? Why did you have to say that comment? I'm showing you this.
Oh, not the black baby.
The baby's cute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think that's really progressive. I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's important.
I feel like sometimes people don't realize the things they do,
Definitely.
And the way other people might perceive it. Because obviously, them showing your black baby, they might be like, okay, I'll show her a black baby.
She's gonna like it. She's gonna like it.
I like it.
I'm actually saying white baby.
Do you think that's my baby? Like, what the hell?
No.
I was thinking you should have been like, where's the white baby?
I
Yeah, there's a lot of those conversations. Like, you like this football player, and they won't tell you why, then they'll show you a photo. Or
Do you fancy him?
because I knew nothing about rugby, so I had one colleague teaching me about rugby, and they're like, "You love this rugby player, he's so handsome, so charming, you know, the kind
It's
of
the
guy
way
you
they say
take
it,
home."
so patronising.
Yeah, and I didn't understand why he was telling me. I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, why is he
gosh.
really popular?" So he's explaining, and I'm like, "Oh, sounds like a really, really talented man." Googles him and shows me this black male, and I'm there like. He's really, you know, he's just the type you could take home, and I thought, what do you mean by that?
The type that you can take home.
Yeah, me
Not his daughter, no.
And they're really good looking, Sarah, you'd like them, and then they turn out to be black. I'm like, I don't just like black.
That's why I don't get this.
Exactly.
Oh, he's really good looking, you'd like him. And I'm like, would you like him? No, but he'll be good for you.
you.
And then
What do you mean? Do you know what's good for me?
Yeah, you don't.
I was
like
offended
that.
by the rugby thing because I thought, are you saying this because your perception of black men is like you're so surprised by this talented guy? It was like a two-way thing.
The double-edged
Black,
sword.
but also
No, he went to Eton or something like.
he went to Eton and he was describing all these amazing things that he sounded surprised by this black talented sports personality, and I was just like, I left the conversation. I had to think about it. And I was like, wow, what's your perception of what a normal, well, a not famous black male is like? Like unsuccessful, like working class, like.
Are those the good ones?
Yeah.
They have to go to private school, like
with dreadlocks, you know.
And the biggest battle is not being able to argue with everyone because you want to teach them, but you don't want to come off as angry black female.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get offended about every little thing because to them they'll be like, I'm just telling you about someone famous. Who you like, and you're like, but there's so many undertones here. I cannot respond to.